Hello everyone, my name is Jackie Spade, and today I am here to talk to you about tablets and e-readers versus books. Now, I was actually inspired to do this because of a friend of mine. She posted on her channel recently talking about the difference between the two, but she was a little more pro-book. She's a little biased, not gonna lie, so I'm gonna try and take a different spin on it. For those of you out there, excuse me, this is my first time doing this, so forgive me. I'm a little nervous. For those of you out there that might be trying to decide between the two of them, hopefully something that you see today will help you choose. Obviously, the first one is going to be the fact that books are easy. You can just pick one up and, flip through it, start reading. Ta-da! Downside is, once you start reading and the longer you read, you'll start seeing, they'll start off looking like that. Just one or two little dog ears. But the more you read, they'll start looking like this. With, torn pages and, some of them are bent. Obviously the cover doesn't even close anymore. So that's kind of a pain. Another problem with books is the fact that, let's say you're going on family vacation and your family's going to do something that you don't want to do. So you want to take a bunch of books with you. And, you're going to have to pack an extra bag full of nothing but just books. Now, this is on the assumption that it's going to be a relatively long vacation or the fact that you are a fast reader. Who knows? Which, by the way, little thing I should throw in here, I am not by any means stating that tablets are better than books. In fact, I completely disagree. As you can tell, I have quite a few books. I collect them. So, there you go. The pro to having books is the fact that you don't have to wait. You can start reading whenever you want. There is no battery time. You don't have to sit there and go, where's my plug, where's my plug? Especially considering a lot of chargers a lot of tablets have specific chargers that you have to use. You don't have to worry about that. The covers are typically quite prettier. You can collect them, which I have done. You can put them up and give any room in your house a nice library feel to it. And the biggest part about books that I love is I can get into them a little better when I'm actually flipping through a book. It's more interactive, I guess. But that is my personal thing. Nothing is quite like the feeling of an old book. Nothing's quite like the feeling of opening a new book and smelling the new book smell. Kind of like the new car smell. The con of books, obviously, is they can get torn and tattered easily. Hard to carry around a bunch of them at once. You have to buy 2 or 3 of the same books, because if you're looking to collect them, obviously you can't just throw this tattered piece of bleh that you just spent, months reading, whatever, and toss it on a shelf. It's not going to be, because I don't know about you guys, but when I read and I get into it, it'll get pretty torn up. So, yeah, you can't read in the dark. I mean, you can go and buy one of those little book lights, but they don't always work. You only get one story at a time. I mean, unless you have a book that has multiple stories in it, you have one book, you have one story. The price of books can get a little much, especially considering if you compare it to like a digital price. The digital prices are typically quite lower because they don't have to print, they don't have to ship it, things like that. The pro of the tablet is that you can read in the dark. You can read wherever and whenever you want without having to worry about, your book getting all bent and whatever. You can carry a lot more around, obviously, depending on how big your memory is. With internet access, you have thousands of stories right there at your fingertips. It's lightweight, so it keeps your hands freer. I mean, how many people have sat there reading like this and doing dishes? You can look up recipes and whatnot. As I said earlier, online books are cheaper. You also, with a Kindle, or more specifically an Amazon account, the books that you buy, they are put into a record. I believe it's called the Cloud Reader. correct me if I'm wrong. So if something happens to your tablet, or if you are just in another location and you have, say, a smartphone, you can download your Kindle app and you can start reading. And theoretically it's supposed to sync up. Sometimes it doesn't, so that one's kind of a pain. And let's say that you are somewhere where you brought a whole bunch of books with you, but now you're like, I want to listen to music, or I want to watch a movie. Well, guess what? You can't. Because, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Dracula has any Wi-Fi. Just gonna throw that out there. I mean, you could try, but last I checked, books don't have Wi-Fi or 3G access. On your tablet, you can read whatever, you can look at whatever, download whatever you want onto these things, and you can carry them around with you. Let's see. So the downside of tablets, obviously, this whole time I've been boasting about them. So let's go into the nitty-gritty of it. Tablets are expensive. There is no way around it. If you do not have the kind of money to spend, don't spend it. Depending on if you get a name brand, you could be talking anywhere between $200 to $800 or more dollars. Now, if you're just going after an e-reader, say like just the Kindle paper, those can be kind of cheaper. Those are typically like $69, I believe, off of Amazon. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But then you get into a little bit more detail. Now, the reason why I've only shown you the back of my tablet so far is very simply because the front of the tablet is completely shattered. Now, obviously it still works, because the beautiful thing about the Samsungs, which is what I have, is you can simply have the glass replaced, as opposed to having the glass and the digitizer replaced. The unfortunate thing is, if you do have a shattered tablet, they recommend that you don't use it, because it has little shards broken here and there, and they can actually puncture some of the more sensitive equipment underneath, so that could be a bit of a pain. To have this fixed will be about $110. On top of that, now this is again just locally, I couldn't find anyone that could fix it. I had to search all over town to get someone to do it, because I didn't have a warranty on this. Again, with books, you don't have to worry about that. You drop a book, oh darn, I guess I'm going to have to bend over and pick it up. If you have a bad back, I guess that would be horrible. It'd be cheaper to go and buy a tablet, whatever. And then, another thing, which you probably saw earlier, and I need to clean it, obviously there's going to be a lot of fingerprints all over your screen, because you're going to do a lot of touching. You don't have to worry about that with books either, because guess what? You can touch on it all you want, and it doesn't do anything. Ta-da. Which, by the way, random shameless plug, because I'm good at those. You definitely need to check out this author, Marianne de Peers. Great woman. Like, seriously, she's awesome. But anyway, completely off topic. One more pro for the tablet, I guess I should say, if you have kids and you actually have a chance to read, I know, right? I would say reading off of a tablet would be easier, on top of the fact that, take mine, for example. I do have a child, and I have a bunch of, coloring apps and, things like that. Things that a typical book wouldn't give you. You can get pretty much all these different apps. And another good thing about it is, let's say you are kind of big into the 50 Shades of Grey smut stuff, and you don't want to leave all this stuff out on your personal library for people to walk through and see, you can put a password on it. You can't do that with a book either, because someone can just go, hey, what's this? Oh. And give you the look. The look. To get a cover, back to the cons, to get a cover for a tablet, depending on the size that you have, you could be looking at anywhere between $30 to $80 or more for that. So yeah, that's kind of a pain in the rear. Slow startup times can be quite frustrating. I've actually heard that a lot. So yeah, hopefully this will help you make your decision as far as which one you choose. Obviously, I couldn't throw out all of the pros and cons because it's going to be different for each person, but just what I have found. So hopefully you enjoyed this. As I said, this was my first time doing this. I do have a written blog as well, so if you like what you see here today, be sure to check it out. It will be in the description, which will also pop up right here now. And hopefully I'll see you guys back. So take care. Thank you for watching.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of